What if true dragon Rimuru born as Veldanava's last hope? The story follows the original series with a twist. Rimuru is reincarnated as a true dragon subspecies instead of a slime, possessing a mature form and abilities capable of turning the impossible into reality, the ultimate hope left behind by the Star King Dragon, Veldanava, before his passing. BY, Slime 237. Chapter 58 Monsters vs Saints Part 2. Both Rimuru's and Hinata's fight was nothing like the fight they had when they first met. Rimuru, is that all you've got? I'm barely sweating here. Hinata, I must admit, this level of growth in such a short time is unbelievable. Rimuru, flattery won't save you. Hinata, I wasn't counting on it, anyway. Hinata dropped the Dragon Buster sword onto the ground. Rimuru thought to himself, what? Is she surrendering? No, that's not like her. Hinata's body began to glow, and she was then covered in armor while a brand new sword appeared in her hand. Rimuru, getting serious now, are we? Hinata, this is where I wash away my mistake, Rimuru. Rimuru, go ahead and try. Their fight continued. Shun was handling Lennart and Guard quite well despite being weakened by the holy field. Lennart, submission or death, A. Guard, a Kijin, no, stronger. An Oni. You sure talk big for a mere monster. Shun, close, but you're wrong. I am a wicked Oni. So I'm not as gentle as you might think I am. Lennart, wicked or not, you will fall. Holy cannon. All the knights launched the attack at Shun only for her to send it right back at them. Lennart, unbelievable. She deflected the attack. Guard, I know dodging is one thing, but sending it back at us is just unheard of. Shun, if this is all you can do, then surrendering would be your safest option. Guard, never. Shun sighed. Look, I am trying to avoid killing you all per Rimuru-sama's orders, so could you at least cooperate? Lennart thought, the Demon Lord did. Lennart, even so, we knights don't negotiate with monsters. Shun, in that case, I have a proposal. Guard, as if we would ever. Before he could finish, Shun threw a stone, aiming right at his ear. Shun, do I need to clean your other ear too? Guard, you. Lennart, wait. We'll listen to your proposal. Shun explained that she would allow them to hit her with their most powerful attack. If she was still standing after receiving it, they had to surrender peacefully. Lennart was shocked at her proposal, but Guard accepted the idea and ordered all the knights to sync their spiritual power with him so he could launch a massive strike. Guard, take this, you monster! Inferno Flame! Shun, not bad, but not good enough. Shun used her unique skill, Chef, to cut down the attack. Lennart was about to honor the agreement, but Guard still refused to stand down. Shun jumped into the air and destroyed the holy field, which finally forced Guard and the other knights to surrender. Chapter 59 Monsters vs Saints Part 3. Shun had defeated Lennart and Guard, and the other four were also finished with their opponents, leaving only Rimuru and Hinata. Rimuru, you may have changed your outfit, but you still can't beat me. Hinata, I won't know unless I try. Rimuru, then let's kick it up a notch. Rimuru then unleashed his own armor made out of dragon scales, and his sword was infused with black lightning flame. Rimuru, are you ready, Hinata? Hinata, bring it on. Their clash became even more intense, but Rimuru's power and skill still placed him above Hinata. Azrael, man, I wish I could be in there. Azrael noticed the discarded weapon. Ooh? That sword? I don't like the energy coming out of it. He used thought communication. Rimuru, the sword Hinata threw away has a very strange energy. Rimuru replied, really? Then keep an eye out in case of an ambush. Azrael thought, finally, something better to do than just sitting around and waiting. Meanwhile in Falmouth, Diablo and Testarossa were flying above the Niddle territory, where King Edward as well as the three rooks were gathered. Diablo, King Edward, you have really outdone yourself this time. Testarossa, because of you, there is a chance Rimuru-sama might take away our positions and send us back to hell. Diawolo, the thought alone is enough to make us shake. Testarossa, you had better be ready to suffer our wrath. Just then, a few soldiers led by one of the rooks headed toward Yume's territory. Diawolo, Testa, would you mind dealing with that small party? Testarossa, why don't you do it? Diawolo, because I am your superior, that's all. Testarossa, fine, but you had better leave some of King Edward for me. Diawolo, I make no promises. With that, Testarossa went to deal with Grigory and his group, while Diawolo flew toward King Edward's tent and landed right in front of it. Diawolo, King Edward, we meet again. Edward, well, if it isn't the Demon Lord's butler. What brings you here? Diawolo, you should know the answer to that, right? Edward, oh, yeah. Edward pulled out a crystal ball showing Raina being killed. He started spouting words, thinking it would make him look more heroic, but this only provoked Diawolo, which was a very big mistake. Edward, oh crap! Demon hunters, come out and slay this demon. Out of nowhere, a group of armed soldiers showed up and attacked Diawolo with chains and lightning. Hunter 1, how do you like that? Edward, excellent. Hunter leader, no, it's not over. Diawolo, after all that hard work, I can't help but call that disappointing. Hunters, he survived. Diawolo, now then, I do believe it is my turn. Chapter 60 Monsters vs Saints Part 4. Diawolo unleashed his aura, causing all the soldiers to collapse except for the reporters, the 2 rooks, and the demon hunter leader. Diawolo, well. So only 3 of you managed to withstand my demon lord aura. Hunter leader, you're bluffing. It's impossible for you to have a demon lord aura. Everyone knows a demon can only evolve up to archdemon. Diawolo, you're not entirely wrong, but it is possible for demons to evolve to the next level. Hunter leader, what? Diawolo, take Rouge, for example. Surely you know of him, right? The demon hunter leader suddenly felt a wave of fear, knowing full well how dangerous Rouge, the Red Primordial and Lord of Darkness, was. When Diawolo mentioned blank, the leader instantly realized he was doomed and quickly bowed his head. Diawolo simply forgave him. Sir, well, aren't you quite the demon? Diawolo, you guys aren't fleeing. Sir, as if. Your name is Diawolo, right? My name is Ser, a member of the 10 Great Saints. In other words, we aren't going to let the Archbishop's killer run free. Diawolo, I hope you can do your best to entertain me. Over in Yume's territory, an explosion rocked the area. Grigory, damn it, to think a woman like you would be this strong. Testarossa, flattery won't save you, so I think I'll end this. Testarossa was about to knock out Grigory when Ronga suddenly jumped out, ambushed him, and started rolling him around like a ball, causing Grigory to lose consciousness. Testarossa, well, that's taken care of. I do hope Diawolo remembers to save a piece of King Edward for me. And as for calling me by that name, I'll have to teach him a lesson. Back at the king's tent, Diawolo was easily blocking all of Ser's attacks when Glenda suddenly threw a dagger at his chest. Diawolo simply pulled it out. Ser, damn, you really aren't just a calamity-level archdemon, huh? Diawolo, I never said I was. Ser, hey, Glenda. Who? Where did she? Diawolo, oh, I believe she fled right after throwing the dagger. Ser yelled, Glenda. He turned back to Diawolo. Fine. I'll just beat you myself and expose who you really are in battle. Diawolo, well, since you're so curious, I might as well tell you. You are correct that I am no archdemon. I am a demon peer. Sir, what? Diawolo, are you satisfied? Just then, a portal opened beside Diawolo, and Testarossa stepped out, dragging an unconscious Grigory behind her. Diawolo, so, you're done. Testarossa, that's right. And if I hear you calling me blank ever again, I will kill you, superior or not. When Ser heard that name, he fell into utter despair. Another portal opened, and 3-7 luminaries stepped out, but they weren't there to do good. Diablo, I see. Here to destroy the evidence, are we? As soon as those words left Diablo's mouth, the 3 luminaries launched an attack directly at the reporters. Chapter 61 Monsters vs Sense Part 5. The scene shifts back to Rimuru and Hinata. All of her subordinates had been bested, and Rimuru was still standing in front of her looking completely unharmed, while she was thoroughly exhausted. Hinata, it seems we have lost this fight, but I would like to end it now. Let's finish this with one final strike. Rimuru, very well. Since you're at a disadvantage, I'll let you strike first. If I survive the attack, then I win. Deal. Hinata, all right, but remember, you asked for this. She began to chant, Melt Slash. She unleashed her most powerful attack, but Rimuru easily survived it. The Holy Knights were lost for words, while Rimuru's executives knew all along that their master would win. Rimuru, I win. Hinata, yeah, you did. You really are something else, taking that attack head-on on purpose. Rimuru, what can I say? I'm just that awesome. Hinata, I'm too tired to even argue. Rimuru, now then, let's head to Tempest. We have much to discuss. Suddenly, Sile issued an alert, warning, large amount of magicules detected. Rimuru turned his head and saw that the sword Hinata had thrown away earlier started to move, launching an attack directly at him. Azrael was already prepared and blocked the strike. Rimuru, your suspicion about that sword was right on the money. Azrael, let's not celebrate yet. I have a feeling we have uninvited guests dropping in. He was right. A portal opened and 2-7 luminaries stepped out, binding the Holy Knights with magic. Luminary 1, Demon Lord Rimuru, we are here to punish Hinata, so would you kindly hand her over? Rimuru, not a chance. I know why you're really here, but before that, Azrael, if you would. Azrael, gladly. Azrael charged at guard and ripped off the mask he was wearing, revealing his true identity as one of the 7 luminaries. Luminary 3, how did you know? Rimuru, that's not important right now. Besides, you 3 are going to die. Luminary 2, we'll see about that. The 3 luminaries flew into the sky as a magic circle appeared underneath Rimuru and the others. At that moment, Diablo called Rimuru through thought communication to report that he had encountered 3 luminaries of his own and asked permission to kill them, which Rimuru immediately granted. Rimuru, planning to kill us all? I don't think so, guys. At his command, 6 of his executives attacked the magic circle. Shin used her chef skill to weaken the structure, and the remaining 5 combined their attacks to completely shatter the circle before it could activate. Luminary 1, impossible. You destroyed it so quickly. Rimuru, I told you 3 you were going to die, didn't I? Luminary 2, you can't. We are the guardians of humanity. If you kill us, our God will not stand idly by. Rimuru, who said I'll be the one killing you 3? Luminary 3, what? Suddenly, a giant gate appeared, and Luminous Valentine stepped out alongside the Holy Emperor Louis. Luminous, hello again, Demon Lord Rimuru. I apologize for causing you trouble. Rimuru, it's fine. I had a hunch you would show up. Chapter 62 Truth Revealed. The 7 luminaries had finally exposed themselves in an attempt to end Hinata and Rimuru's lives. Having failed, and with Luminous present, their demise was inevitable. Louis, stand aside. I am the Holy Emperor Louis, and the person next to me is our god, Luminous. On your knees. Bacchus and Fritz exclaimed in shock, Luminous. Lytis gasped, that person is our god. They all dropped to their knees. Luminous, Rimuru, I apologize for all the trouble. Let me clean up this mess. Rimuru, they are your subordinates, so you deal with them. Besides, I'm sure Diablo is already done with the other 3. Luminous, thank you. Now then, my 7 luminaries, how do you intend to explain yourselves? The luminaries tried desperately to make excuses to survive, but Luminous had already decided they were beyond forgiveness. Luminous, you all crossed the line this time, so I shall be the one to grant you your deaths. Death blessing. With that, the 3 of them were turned to dust and blown away by the wind. One of their discarded robes flew through the air and hit someone in the face. Veldora pulled the cloth off. Whoa! A robe? It's not really my style. Rimuru, Veldora? Why are you here? You're supposed to be the city's last line of defense. Veldora, I know that. But I sensed a demon lord aura I recognized, so I came over. All the knights heard this, and when Veldora turned to see Luminous, he blurted out her title, revealing her true identity as a demon lord to everyone present. Luminous shouted, "You goddamn lizard!" Veldora immediately realized what he had done and quickly hid behind Rimuru. When Luminous asked Rimuru to hand Veldora over to her, Rimuru complied instantly. Veldora, how could you betray me, Rimuru? Luminous, at least Rimuru is smarter than you. A massive boom echoed as she began thrashing Veldora. Meanwhile, back in Lubelius, the last of the 7 luminaries was eliminated by Nicholas. Hinata used this chance to explain the truth to her knights. Though they found it difficult to accept at first, they slowly began to understand the situation. After 30 minutes of Luminous beating up Veldora, the group finally headed to Tempest. The first thing they did was relax in the hot springs, followed by a massive feast at the inn. Rimuru, Shizu, Shinsho, I'm glad you two could make it. Shizu, I will always be there for you. Hinata saw Shizu and walked over to her. Shizu, Hinata, it's good to see you again. You have grown a lot. Hinata, it's good to see you too, sensei. Shinsho smiled brightly. Hi, Hinata Nei-chan. Hinata clutched her chest as if struck by an arrow, instantly melting at Shinsho's cuteness. Rimuru, attention, everyone. I know you all still have mixed feelings after our little fight, so let's just use this time to get to know one another, okay? Everyone replied in unison, hi. Chapter 63 Get Together. Rimuru's speech encouraged the humans and monsters to interact, slowly building a rapport. Hinata, Rimuru, even though our fight was a setup, our first encounter was my own decision. Please forgive me. Rimuru, it's fine, as long as you learned your lesson. Shizu, he's right. I was thinking of disciplining you, but I'll let it slide this time. Hinata stammered, right. She thought to herself, there is no way in hell I am ever letting Shizu-sensei discipline me again. Rimuru, in any case, just enjoy the meal today. We can talk more seriously at tomorrow's meeting. As Hinata turned to return to her spot, she paused. Wait! I just remembered something. Rimuru, when did you and Shizu-sensei have a daughter? Rimuru went on to explain how it happened, leaving Hinata struggling to process the news. Luminous interrupted, enough of that, Hinata. Just enjoy the food already. Hinata, hi, Lumina-sama. She returned to her seat and ate her meal. Azrael, hey, Rimuru. Rimuru, what's up, my guy? Azrael, I have a hunch that this was just a small part of a much bigger scheme. Rimuru, you think so? Azrael, I plan to take a few days off to check if my suspicions are correct. Rimuru, you can go right after tomorrow's meeting. Azrael, right. The feast continued as the knights and monsters gradually warmed up to each other. Shinsho ran around playing until she grew tired, eventually falling asleep in Shizu's arms. The knights watched in awe at how adorable she was. Lightis, Kia, she's so cute. Hinata, I know. Luminous, hey, Rimuru, mind if I hold her? Rimuru, sorry, no can do. Luminous pouted. Ah, petty. Shizu, we should probably put her to bed now, plus. Shizue whispered something into Rimuru's ear, making him jump to his feet. Benimaru, Rimuru-sama. Without a word, Rimuru swept Shizue up into a princess carry while she held the sleeping Shinsho, and ran straight toward his house. Most of the crowd watched in shock. Hakuru chuckled, to be young again. Azrael, those two are getting bolder by the minute. Hinata's mind was completely blown. Wait, are they? Benimaru sighed. I wish they didn't have to do that so casually in the open. Azrael smirked. Oh yeah? Just wait until you and Albus get together. Then we'll see who's talking. Benimaru stammered, what? How did you? Azrael, it was just a hunch, and you just confirmed it. Benimaru, damn it. Chapter 64 Meeting of Humans and Monsters. The meeting was about to begin, but Rimuru and Shizue had not arrived yet. Gobta, Rimuru-sama and Shizue-sama are running a little late, aren't they? Azrael, it's only natural, given what happened last night. Gobta, must be nice to have a lover. Azrael, it sure is. Right, Benny. Benimaru, shut up. Rimuru and Shizue finally entered the room. Luminous, you two sure had a nice night, huh? Rimuru, it was. Hinata, sensei, next time could you please not do that in public? Shizue smiled. No promises. Rimuru cleared his throat. Anyways, let's begin. They discussed the schemes of Clayman, the Moderate Harlequin Alliance, the Seven Luminaries, and the Eastern Merchants, concluding that all of these events were linked. Rimuru, wait, if Luminous took care of 3 luminaries and Diolo took care of 3, who dealt with the last one? Hinata, no need to worry, Nicholas has taken care of him. Luminous, Nicholas, huh? I see. But to think Gran was taken out like that, old age must have really gotten to him. Hinata, Gran? As in Granbell. Luminous, yes. He used to be the hero of light who fought me in the past. Well, he's dead now, so there's no need to dwell on it. Azrael, so why did they go after Hinata like this? Louis, I think I know why. It's because of Luminous-sama's life energy. Rimuru, life energy. Luminous, right. It has been 100 years since the last time. If they don't receive energy from me, they grow old. Rimuru, well, if they aren't the masterminds, then I can only think of one other person. Hinata, who? Rimuru, Yuki. His answer shocked both Shizue and Hinata, but as Rimuru explained his reasoning, the connection made sense. Rimuru, in any case, that's all for today's meeting. I propose we have one final meal before everyone returns home. Agreed. Everyone nodded, and a final dinner was held. During the meal, Hinata warned Rimuru that as his nation grew, it would draw the attention of the angels. Rimuru considered her warning and decided on a strategy to counter the upcoming threat. Rimuru, Diolo. Diolo, yes, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, I want you and the 3 demonesses to go to the underworld and recruit as many demons as you can so we can defend against the angels. Diolo bowed. As you wish. With that, Diolo vanished. Rimuru turned to Azrael. You can go fulfill your task now, Azrael. Azrael, right. I'll be back in a few weeks. Azrael vanished as well. Chapter 65 Shinsha's First Mission. 2 days had passed since Luminous and her crusaders departed, and Rimuru was busy planning the Tempest founding festival. Shizue was playing with Shinsha in the office when Sue stepped inside. Sue, Rimuru-sama, I have been informed that Freymia was kidnapped by slave traders. Rimuru, I see. Have you assembled a team yet? Sue, I have. Rimuru, then go. Shinsha interrupted, wait, Papa. I want to go save Freymia. Rimuru stared at her. What? Shinsha, I can do it, Papa. I know I can. I can bring my friends with me. Rimuru, friends? Who? Shishu chimed in, oh right, I forgot to tell you. Shinsho has become very close with Fars, Stella, and Nemu. They even train and spar together under Hakuru. Rimuru, even so, this is still too. Shinsho looked up at him with big puppy dog eyes. Please, Papa, pretty please. Rimuru thought to himself, I can't say no to that look. Rimuru sighed. Okay, you can go, but you had better stay safe, got it? Shinsho beamed. You got it, Papa. She ran out of the room to gather her friends. Rimuru, she grows up so fast. Shishu smiled. I know, my love. Minutes later, the four girls entered Rimuru's office to receive their orders directly. Rimuru, the four of you know your mission. Rescue Framia and return home safely. Is that clear? The four replied together, Hi. Rimuru, then go save her. The team set off to rescue Framia. Fars, Princess Shinsho, if things get too hard, I want you to run back to Tempest. Shinsho pouted. I am not a little girl who always needs protecting, Fars. Nemu, the princess is strong, so I'm not too worried. Stella, I can't wait to kick some slave trader butt. They continued their search until they spotted a small group of slave traders. Ambushing the group, the girls easily subdued them and interrogated the survivors, discovering that Framia was being held in a nearby cave guarded by mercenaries. Shinsho, okay guys, time to complete this mission and go home. Fars, yeah. Stella, let's do this. Nemu, I can't wait to go home. Waiting for the right moment, they knocked out the entrance guards and rushed inside. Fars went beast mode, Stella threw powerful punches, Nemu sprouted her wings, and Shinsho unleashed her jail shake skill. The four quickly defeated the traders and freed Framia along with the other captives. As they turned to leave, a voice called out from the shadows, You young ladies sure made a big mess of my operation, huh? A towering man stepped forward, the leader of the mercenaries. Shinsho smirked. Guess this is where the fun starts. Chapter 66 Shinsho's first mission accomplished. The mercenary leader blocked the exit of the cave. Mercenary leader, tell you what, if you four surrender peacefully, I'll make sure you're treated nicely. Shinsho, yeah, no. Stella, let's kick his butt. Fars, yeah. The four charged straight at the leader. Mercenary leader, you kitties wanna play? Fine. He blew a whistle, and 4 more mercenaries emerged, but the girls didn't back down. Mercenary leader, you kids are going to regret fighting us. Shinsho, we'll see about that. The battle lasted for 30 minutes. The 4 mercenary henchmen were taken down, leaving only the boss. Mercenary leader, you little, how is this even possible? Before he could finish his sentence, Stella delivered a punch that sent him flying into the wall. Shinsho quickly cast sticky thread to bind him securely to the stone. The leader gasped before losing consciousness, damn it all. Shinsho cheered, we did it. Fars, we sure did. Stella, our first mission together. Nemu is so happy. The group safely returned to Tempest with the freed captives. The villagers were overjoyed that their princess had completed such a dangerous task. Gobta, you're amazing, princess. Gabble, indeed. What an excellent display. Geld, good thing I came back, or I would have missed this. Hakuru smiled. That was excellent work, all 4 of you. I am so proud. The girls bowed. Thank you, sensei. Benimaru, it's a shame Diawolo and Azrael aren't here to see it. Shun, yep. Too bad for them. Shuna, I guess we'll just have to explain it to them in full detail later. Rimuru and Shizu approached the group. Shinsho ran over and hugged them. Papa. Mama. Rimuru, you did so well out there, my little angel. Shizu, yes, we are so proud of you. Shinsho giggled as her antenna wiggled with delight. Rimuru turned to the others. And you three did great out there as well. Fars, Stella, and Nemu bowed. Thank you, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, this is a joyous occasion. Tonight, we celebrate. Everyone cheered, yeah. Rimuru called out, chefs. Shuna and the kitchen staff smiled. Say no more, Rimuru-sama. We are on it. With that, the entire kingdom began a grand feast. Chapter 67 The News. Everyone had lots of fun during yesterday's feast, but they must return their attention to the founding festival plan. Sakura, Rimuru-sama, we have sent invitations to almost all of the races within the Great Forest of Jura. Rimuru, excellent work, but I hear it but ye coming. Sakura, sharp as ever, Rimuru-sama. We have yet to send an invitation to the Tengu clan, who live in the Kusha Mountains. Rimuru, I see. And the reason? Sakura, there seems to be some kind of barrier protecting the top of the mountain. I plan to send a messenger there. Rimuru, right. Who should we send? Benimaru, worry not, Rimuru-sama. I shall go. Shuna smiled. I'm curious, brother. Is this your way of getting closer to Albus? Rimuru, oh, you're into Albus, huh? Benimaru, no, this is not like that. Shuna, be quiet. Sakura, no need to be embarrassed, my son. Benimaru, not you too, mother. Rimuru, all right, all right. Benimaru, if you want to go, then go. Benimaru, hi. Rimuru, now then, moving on. Geld. Geld, hi. Rimuru, I need you and the orcs to focus on finishing the road to Sarian. Once that's done, continue on to Milim's domain. Geld, hi, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, oh, Sakura, Shuna, how are the preparations for the wedding? Sakura, going smoothly, Rimuru-sama. Shuna, the clothes and decorations will soon be complete. Rimuru, good. It won't be long now, my love. Shizu, I know. I can't wait. Rimuru, by the way, where's Shinsho? I haven't seen her today. Shizu, she's off with Fars, Stella, and Nemu in the forest doing a little hunting, she said. Rimuru, I wonder what she'll find? In any case, you all have your jobs. Now go do them. The executives, hi. The executives left, leaving Rimuru and Shizu in the office doing paperwork until the sun set. That's when Shinsho came in holding a large bug. Shinsho, Papa, Mama, look what I found. Rimuru, is that a giant mantis? Shizu, did you catch this one? Shinsho, yes. After I saved it from getting eaten, it said it wants to be my subordinate. Rimuru, really now? Rimuru thought to himself, I suppose it's no problem. Start out small, then go big. All right then, do you have a name for it? Shinsho, not yet, but I want to call it Blades. Rimuru, in that case, let me. Shinsho, wait, I want to be the one to name it. Shinsho, naming is not something to take lightly. Shinsho, pretty please? Rimuru mentally called out, Great Sage? Sile answered, Answer, it is safe for her to name it, Master. Rimuru, all right then, go for it. Shizu, Rimuru. Rimuru, it will be fine. Shinsho, okay. From this day onward, your name is Blades. Magicule slowly flowed from Shinsho's body into the mantis. Blades, TTH thank you, Princess. I shall forever be at your service. Shinsho cheered, yay. I have a subordinate. Just like that, Shinsho got herself her first subordinate. Chapter 68 Raja Part 1. Geld had begun the construction of the road to Sarian, while Gobta, Gabble, Shinsho, and the Trinity were training in the forest with Hakuru. Blades observed quietly from the side. Hakuru, Gobta, Gabble, you two are still relying on your sight too much. Gobta and Gabble, right. Hakuru, the princess and you three, on the other hand, excellent work. The four, thank you, Sensei Grandpa. Just then, Sue appeared with an emergency. Sue, Hakuru, I've just received word that Geld is currently under attack. Gobta, what? We have to go help him. Gabble, right. Shinsho, race YA. Come on, you three, let's go. You two, Blades. The three and Blades, hi, Shinsho princess. Sue, I shall inform Rimuru-sama at once. Shinsho and the Trinity were the first to arrive at the scene. They saw three people attacking Geld's men, but the one with red hair was attacking Geld directly and seemed to be the strongest of the group. Unknown attacker, ROARRR. Die, Orc Remnant. Geld, that horn. Shinsho, Geld, get down. Jail shake. Unknown attacker, What is this? Let me go. Shinsho, not until you cool down first. You three, handle the other two. Fars, you got it. Stella, just don't get hurt. Shinsho's jail shake completely immobilized the red-haired attacker, but his overwhelming rage and flames allowed him to break free. Caught by surprise, Shinsho was grazed on the arm as his roar sent her flying backward. Geld, princess. Fars, are you okay? Shinsho, I'm fine, he just caught me by surprise, that's all. Stella, glad you're not too hurt. Everyone was slowly beginning to calm down, but Blades became enraged and charged at the red-haired man. Blades, how dare you attack my master? Red-haired man, out of the way, bug. The red-haired man unleashed his flames, putting Blades in a very difficult position. Shinsho, Blades, get back. You won't last much longer. Blades retreated to Shinsho's side as the red-haired man rushed toward Geld. Shinsho, Geld, look out! Just as the man's sword was about to cut Geld in half, Benimaru arrived in the nick of time to block the strike. But what happened next left everyone in shock. Benimaru, brother. Red-haired man, huh? Young master? You're alive. Benimaru, yes, I am, as well as some others from the village. Red-haired man, really? That's so good to hear. Shinsho, eh? Wait. What? Your brother? Chapter 69 Raja Part 2. After the fighting stopped, Benimaru spoke with the red-haired man, who turned out to be his childhood friend. Hiro, it's good to see you after all these years, young master. Benimaru, please, just call me Benimaru. Hiro, I see you have been named. Well, so have I. You may call me Hiro. Benimaru, right. Shinsho, okay, can someone please tell me what's going on? Hiro explained that he had come to meet with the ruler of the forest, but upon seeing Geld, a desire for vengeance for his fallen village took over. When Benimaru explained that Geld and the orcs were no longer enemies, Hiro readily agreed to stand down. Shinsho, so you came all this way just to meet my papa? Hiro, yes, that's true, wait, did you just say papa? Shinsho, yep. My papa is the leader of the forest. Hiro turned pale. So that means I just attacked, please forgive me for my earlier rudeness. I ask that you at least show mercy to my men. They were only following my orders. Shinsho, it's fine, we're all good now, right? Benimaru, she is right. Just then, the rest of the villagers arrived and spotted Hiro. Shun teared up. Brother? Is that really you? Hiro, you're all here. I can hardly believe it. Shuna, hello, brother. Kurobe, wow, you've grown so much. Sue, you look well. They were having a joyous reunion until a familiar voice boomed across the clearing. Veldora, kuahahahaha. So you're the tough guy who not only attacked my sworn brother's subordinate, but also his daughter, my niece. Prepare to be punished. Veldora killing art. Veldora punched Hiro so hard it sent him crashing into the ground, tearing up a section of the newly finished road Geld and his men had worked so hard on. Benimaru, wait, Veldora-sama. There is no need for this. Veldora, Benimaru, are you defending this outsider instead of my niece? Benimaru, that's not what I... Shinsho, it's okay, Uncle Veldora. Everything is all good now, so no need for more violence. Veldora, well, if you say so, then I'll let the matter slide. Benimaru, thank you, princess. Shinsho quickly administered a full potion to heal Hiro, and the group headed back to Tempest, where Rimuru and Shizu were waiting. Rimuru, Shinsho, I heard you engaged an enemy and got hurt. Shizu, my sweet little baby, are you all right? Shinsho, I'm fine, just a teeny tiny graze, that's all. Hiro bowed his head to the ground. I am truly sorry for attacking your daughter. Benimaru, Rimuru-sama, I know what I'm about to ask is wrong, but could you please spare his life? The other Onis echoed his plea. Rimuru, since my daughter isn't bothered by it anymore, I will let it slide. Shizu, but this better not happen again. The Onis, hi, we promise. Rimuru, now then, let's head to the inn, shall we? With that, they all went to the inn for dinner. Chapter 70 Raja Part 3. Gathered in the inn, Hiro explained why he and his men had come, detailing how he was saved by Queen Toa of the Kingdom of Raja and the dire situation her country faced. Rimuru, I get it now. With the lake poisoned to this extent and your queen falling sick, naturally you would seek help. Shuna, to think you've been through all that hardship. Shun, it must have been awful. Hiro, my men and I would have made it back to the village in time if it weren't for Clayman's lackey, Yamza. Benimaru, what? So the mercenary work you took on led you to work for Clayman? Shizu, or of all the beings in the world, it had to be him, huh? Rimuru, well, you don't have to worry about him anymore, because he's dead now. Hiro, what? Clayman is dead. Shinsho, yep. My papa beat the hell out of him and took his seat. Hiro's man won, so that makes Rimuru-sama the new demon lord. Hiro's man too, didn't see that one coming. Hiro, I see. Thank you for ending him, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, it was nothing. Now, regarding the forest. Veldora? Veldora thought for a moment. If they wish to farm the forest, so be it. Just don't make too much noise, and don't get too greedy either. Rimuru, you heard him. Hiro, thank you, Veldora-sama. Rimuru, putting that aside, I was... Before he could finish, someone came hurtling toward him at top speed, Milim. Milim, I want in on this too. Rimuru, Milim? What are you doing here? Milim, you're having a party, right? How can you leave out your bestie? Rimuru, it's not a party. Shizu, that's right. We have visitors from the Kingdom of Raja, but since you're here, you might as well join us. Milim cheered, yay. Yummy food. Fry is not going to be happy about this, Rimuru thought. Hiro, Rimuru-sama, I would like to make an official request. Rimuru, oh? Speak up. After Hiro finished explaining, Benimaru and the other Onis bowed their heads and asked Rimuru to help, which he readily agreed to. Rimuru, very well. I shall lend you my aid, and I would also like to meet this queen of yours. She seems like a very caring person. Is that all right? Hiro, yes, of course. Shizu, then I say we finish our meal and head straight to bed for tomorrow's departure. Everyone, hi? Chapter 71 Raja Part 4. The day of departure arrived, and everyone traveling to Raja assembled outside the city gates. Hiro, take care of yourself, mother, And you too, Sensei. Sakura, have a safe trip, my child. Hakuru, perhaps one day you'll come back and I can train you again, just like the good old days. Hiro chuckled, ha ha, just go easy on me, okay? Kurobe, remember, you're not a stranger here anymore, so feel free to come by anytime. Hiro, right, I'll remember that. Rimuru, Shizu, Shinsho, hang on tight, okay? Shizu, yes, dear. Shinsho, okay, Papa. Rimuru, Ronga, take it easy, got it? Ronga, hi, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, all right then, it's time we head to the kingdom of Raja. Let's go. With that, they mounted their flying beasts and soared toward the kingdom of Raja. An hour later, they arrived and entered the meeting room to discuss matters with the ministers. Moguji, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I thank you for coming even in our current situation. Rimuru side nodded. Hiro, I have to ask, how is the queen faring? Moguji, currently resting. Hiro, in that case, I have good news. The storm dragon said he'll allow us to farm in the forest. Moguji, really? Rimuru, as long as you guys don't get too greedy, then all is good. As they spoke, the doctor, Kaikwan, entered to give an update on the queen's condition. They gathered in her room, where Rimuru secretly asked Sile to scan her. Sile answered, Master, the cause of her illness is the crown she is wearing. Treatment is also required. Use Apato's honey to cure her. Rimuru gave Toa the honey, and she began to slowly recover. He then asked if he could help clean the poisoned lake. Receiving the green light, they headed down to the lake, where Rimuru used his magic to purify the water. Along the way, however, he noticed something strange. The poison runes in the lake, where have I seen those before? Wait, could it be hers? Sile answered, it is most likely Ultima's doing. I'm going to have a word with her when she gets back from hell. Down in the underworld, demon realm. Ultima sneezed, achoo. Carrera, what's the matter, ponytail? Catch a cold? Ultima, shut up, you menace. Testarossa, still, when have you ever sneezed? Ultima, I don't know, but I feel like something bad is about to happen to me. Diolo appeared. If that is the case, I shall return to Rimuru-sama just in case. You three continue the recruitment, understood? Testarossa, clear. Carrera and Ultima, fine. With that, Diolo returned to Tempest. Chapter 72 Raja Part 5. A few days had passed since Raja began farming in the forest, and things were going smoothly, though one person was far from happy. Lakua, what is this? They're farming in the great forest of Jura. And they purified the lake. How is this even happening? He turned around and spotted Queen Toa looking healthy and vibrant. Lakua, what? The queen is fully restored. Moguji, Lakua. Lakua, oh, Minister Moguji, how nice to see you. I brought the wonderful goods you ordered. That said, it seems the queen is in good condition. Moguji, yes, and it's all thanks to Demon Lord Rimuru. When Moguji explained how Rimuru had healed the queen, Lakua retreated to his cart and threw a quiet tantrum. Lakua, damn that baby demon lord. He ruined my plans for my lady. Wait, I can still turn things back around. He. Back in Rimuru's house. Rimuru, it would seem the kingdom of Raja is slowly getting better. Shizu, it sure is, and Queen Toa is feeling much better thanks to the honey you brought. Rimuru, now then, why are you back, Diolo? Have you completed your task of recruiting demons? Diolo, everything is running smoothly, Rimuru-sama. I only came back because Ultima felt something bad was going to happen to her. So she almost figured it out. Hey, Rimuru thought. Rimuru, yes. Once your task is complete, have her come to my office. Diolo, hi. Rimuru, good, then I'll just then, trainee appeared bearing terrible news. Rimuru, what? The lake is poisoned again. And Queen Toa collapsed after using the crown again. Trainee, I'm afraid so. Rimuru, damn it. Shiju, what should we do, Rimuru? Rimuru, Diolo. Go back to hell and drag Ultima here right now. Diolo, hi, Rimuru-sama. A few minutes later, Diolo returned dragging Ultima by the collar. Ultima, you wish to see me, Rimuru-sama. Seeing the bulging vein on Rimuru's forehead, she instantly realized she was in big trouble. When Rimuru explained the situation in Raja, she immediately pieced it together and bowed her head to the floor. Ultima, my deepest apologies, Rimuru-sama. I completely forgot about that place, and the one poisoning the lake is likely the demon I placed there. His name is Lakua, alongside Kaikwan. Rimuru, so Kaikwan is a demon. I knew there was something strange about him. Shinsho, what now, Papa? Rimuru, I'm going to Raja, and you, Ultima, are going to fix this. I'll decide on your punishment later. Ultima stammered, hi. With that, Rimuru and Ultima teleported to Raja. Chapter 73 Raja Part 6. Rimuru and Ultima quickly entered the Queen's bedroom, only to find she wasn't there. Furthermore, Hiro was nowhere to be found either. Rimuru, where could those two be? Just then, Sue appeared. Rimuru-sama, we have a problem. Soldiers from neighboring countries are marching toward Raja. Rimuru, this is not good. Assemble our forces and set a perimeter around Raja. Let no one enter, got it? Sue, hi. Rimuru, you and I need to find where Toa and Hiro are. If we find them, we find your lackey. Ultima, I will make sure both Lakua and Kaikwan pay for this. Rimuru, Ronga, help us out. Ronga emerged from Rimuru's shadow and activated his tracking mode. Moguji, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, everything will be okay. We'll find the Queen and Hiro and bring them back safely. Moguji, I hope so. With Rimuru, Ronga, and Ultima searching together, Ronga soon picked up the scents of Hiro and Toa behind a giant gate leading down. They rushed inside and found Hiro and Toa on an altar, with Lakua and Kaikwan standing nearby. Rimuru, Hiro. Toa. Hiro, what? Rimuru-sama? Toa, who are you? Ultima glared at them. Lakua. Kaikwan. The two panicked. What? My lady. What are you doing here? Ultima, silence. The two of you are going to pay for what you've done. She unleashed her destructive power on them, while Rimuru explained the situation to Hiro and Toa. Toa, so the goddess who gave my ancestor the crown was you? Ultima, yes. Sorry about that. I shall take back the curse and remove the poison from your body now. With a wave of her hand, the poison was drawn out, freeing Toa from her suffering once and for all. Toa, thank you, Ultima, and you too, Rimuru-sama. How can I ever repay you? Rimuru, it was nothing really. Just focus on getting better first. Toa, right. After stepping outside, they discovered the neighboring soldiers had already been routed and retreated. Just as things finally settled down, Shiju rushed over. Shiju, Rimuru, we have a problem. Veldora and Milim are making a mess. Rimuru groaned, can't I catch a break? He immediately returned to Tempest to scold the pair. Rimuru, Veldora, you are banned from reading any manga and eating snacks until you reflect on your actions. Veldora slouched, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Rimuru, as for you, Milim, I'll let Fry handle you. Milim panicked, oh no. Fry arrived shortly after and dragged Milim back to her domain by the ear. Rimuru then returned to his house, where Shiju was waiting. Shiju, my poor Rimuru, you look so tired. Come, let me give you some energy. Rimuru smiled, just the cure I need. Chapter 74 Invitation and Kazakh. Now that the situation in Raja was resolved, Rimuru and the others turned their attention back to planning the founding festival and the wedding. Their first task was sending out invitations. While his subordinates mailed most of them, Rimuru and Shishu personally delivered invitations to higher-ranking individuals, leaving Njolmile in Bloomund as their final stop. In Bloomund, Njolmile was in his office speaking with a viscount named Kazakh about trade when a knock echoed at the door and it swung open. Shishu, hello, Njolmile. It's good to see you. Njolmile beamed, oh, Shishu-sama. Just as Njolmile rose to greet her, Kazakh stepped in front of him. Kazakh, well, if it isn't Shishu Aizawa. We meet again, it must be fate that brought us together. Shishu thought to herself, oh boy, not this guy again. How many times must I reject him before he leaves me alone? Aloud, she said, I see you're still in good health, Viscount, but we have business with Njolmile. Kazakh, come now, don't be like that. Why don't we leave and grab dinner to dis? Wait, you said we. Did someone already ask for your hand in marriage? Shishu, yep, so could you just? Kazakh raged, outrageous. Who dares take your heart before me? When I find that man, I'll. Before he could finish, Shishu pointed the tip of her sword right at his neck. Shishu, don't you dare talk about my lover like that. Rimuru walked through the door. What's going on? Shishu, oh, Rimuru, you made it. Njolmile, oh, you're here too, Rimuru-sama. Kazakh froze. Wait. Rimuru. As in the demon Lord Rimuru. Kazakh looked from Njolmile to Shishu, and when both nodded grimly, his face drained of color. He bolted out the door in a blind panic. Rimuru, what was that all about? Shishu, well, you see. She explained that Kazakh was a noble who continually pestered her with unwanted marriage proposals, resorting to harassment. Rimuru's aura flared, that bastard actually did something like that to you in the past. I should have just cut off his head, tortured him, or used Esperion to. Shishu gently touched his arm. That's enough, Rimuru. Just seeing you get angry on my behalf feels so romantic. She blushed. Rimuru blushed as well. Njolmile cleared his throat. Rimuru shook his head. Oh, right. Back to business. Rimuru and Shishu offered Njolmile the position of managing the finances for both the founding festival and their wedding. Njolmile let out a loud squeak of disbelief before quickly composing himself. Rimuru, think you can handle it? Njolmile declared proudly, I absolutely can, Rimuru-sama. Just leave everything to me. Rimuru, great. Shishu, thank you, Njolmile. With that, they left Njolmile's company. While Shishu stepped away to use the restroom, Rimuru called out quietly. Rimuru, Sue. Sue materialized from the shadows. Yes? Rimuru, keep a close eye on Viscount Kazakh, will you? Sue, hi, Rimuru-sama, and vanished once more. Before returning to Tempest, they stopped by a cafe in Ingracia recommended by Ellen, hoping to buy pastries for Shinsho from a baker named Yoshida. Chapter 75 New Hires. Rimuru and Shishu visited Yoshida's cafe and instantly fell in love with his pastries, offering him a job to bake their wedding cake, an offer he accepted without hesitation. They then returned to Tempest to finalize festival preparations. Rimuru and Shishu strolled through town accompanied by Ronga and Kimura, a small fox pet named by Shishu. Rimuru, we have our wedding plans all figured out. Now we just need to nail down the festival activities. Shishu, true. It has to be a festival that makes people want to come back over and over again. Ronga and Kimura perked up. Rimuru-sama, Shishu-sama, look over there. There seems to be some commotion. Shishu, isn't that tiny sphere? Rimuru, yep. There's only one person who can be that noisy while in such a small body. They walked over to find Ramaya is causing a fuss with Gobku. Ramiris shouted, "I'm telling you, we claimed this spot as our own." Gobku protested, "And I told you, you can't do that without Rimuru-sama's permission." Ramiris faked tears, "Oh, come on. We just sealed the way into our home and now we can't go back." When Gobku remained steadfast, Ramiris tried to sic Beretta on him. "Rimuru, what do you think you're doing, Ramiris?" Ramiris gasped, Ah, Rimuru. Hey there, buddy, how have you been?" "Well, you see." Trainee arrived carrying a stack of lumber. "Ramiris-sama, I brought some more wood." "Rimuru, what are you doing with that, Trainee?" Trainee blushed, "Oh, Rimuru-sama, well, you see, Rimuru, Beretta, explain everything." Beretta bowed, "Hi." Beretta explained that Ramiris wanted to move to Tempest because it was livelier than their old home, so they had sealed the entrance and relocated, only to be blocked by Gobku. "Shishu, I get why you want to stay here, Ramiris, but you can't just force your way in like this. Plus, you went and put 2 of our guards to sleep." Ramiris winced, "Sorry, Shishu." "Rimuru, in any case, let's all head to my office and talk. Besides, I think Ramiris showing up right now is actually perfect timing." "Shishu, what do you mean?" "Rimuru, I'll explain in my office." Gathered in Rimuru's office, he pitched his idea of building a massive dungeon to attract adventurers from all over the world. Ramiris's eyes lit up with excitement, and the others readily agreed. With that, Ramiris and Beretta officially settled in Tempest, and the construction of the dungeon got underway. "Shishu, things are going smoothly now, huh?" "Rimuru, it sure is." "Shishu, I just hope nothing bad happens, especially on our wedding day." Rimuru pulled her close, "I'll make sure nothing bad happens, my dear." Shishu smiled warmly, "I know, my love." Chapter 76 Dungeon. The construction of the arena and the dungeon was almost complete, and the only thing left to do was fill the dungeon with monsters. Ramiris asked, "Say Rimuru, how are we going to get a lot of monsters into the dungeon?" Rimuru replied, "I already have that figured out. Just wait until tomorrow." When tomorrow came, Rimuru went to the dungeon alongside Veldora. Veldora marvels, "Wow, so this is the dungeon you guys are making, huh? It looks amazing." Ramiris beamed, "Thank you, Master." Rimuru said, "Right, let's head inside." A brief flashback came to mind. Rimuru asked, "Hey, Veldora, do you have a minute?" Veldora grumbled, "What is it? Can't you see I'm busy?" Rimuru teased, "Oh, I see. And just when I finally found a comfortable place for you to stay." Veldora gasped, "Wait, what? A place to stay?" Rimuru chuckled softly as Veldora quickly changed his tune. Veldora said, "I guess I can hear you out." Rimuru had then explained the plan. Back on the 100th floor. Veldora looked around. "This is my place? Not to sound rude or anything, but this reminds me a lot of the sealed cave." Ramiris offered, "We can change that." Ramiris made some structural adjustments, even creating a small cozy room where Veldora could read his manga whenever he was free. Veldora laughed heartily, "That's more like it. Kuwahahaha." They were able to complete the overall setup within a week. Afterward, they discussed how the dungeon mechanics would function, what items to sell, and other logistical details. Finally, it was time for Veldora to release his aura. Veldora exclaimed, "Finally, I can cut loose." He released his aura, letting his massive magicules flow throughout the entire structure and saturate every floor. Veldora sighed in relief, "Oh, that feels so good." Rimuru said, "I'm glad you're happy. Just make sure you don't release it anywhere else but here, got it?" Veldora nodded, "Understood." Rimuru turned his attention elsewhere. "Now then, Beretta, I think it's time to settle your situation. As I recall, you told Guy you would serve Ramiris from now on, right?" Beretta answered, "Yes." Rimuru asked, Then why don't I transfer ownership of you to her? Will that be all right with you? Beretta bowed. Yes, Rimuru-sama. I wish to serve Ramairis-sama from now on. With that, the master-servant bond of Beretta officially transferred from Rimuru to Ramairis. Rimuru then asked, say, Ramairis, do you think you can add diverse environments to some of the floors, like a stormy, windy, or volcanic region? Ramairis sighed, that would be too much work for me alone, sorry. Rimuru rubbed his neck, I see. Guess that was too ambitious of me, huh? Suddenly, Milim piped up, why not just gather some elemental dragons to do it? In fact, I don't mind gathering them for you. Rimuru turned around, surprised. Milim. What are you doing here? Milim giggled innocently. Rimuru could only pray that Fry wouldn't come looking for her. Chapter 77 Beta Test. Just as they were discussing how to shape the environments inside the dungeon, Milim arrived and suggested using elemental dragons to shape the floors based on their natural elements. Rimuru said, that's actually not a bad idea. Can you go retrieve some? Milim cheered, sure, anything for my bestie. Rimuru asked cautiously, by the way, does Fry know about your little getaway? Milim stiffened, her posture going straight as an arrow. What do you mean, bestie? I am just taking a tiny break, that's all. Ramairis giggled, uh-oh, someone is going to be in big trouble. Milim turned, and why are you here anyway, Ramairis? Ramairis puffed out her chest, working, obviously. Veldora added proudly, that's right, adult business. Rimuru smiled, well, thanks to your idea, Milim, I was able to organize this. Milim's expression brightened instantly. Yup. Rimuru said, pulling out a formal invitation letter for her. Ramairis complained, no fair Rimuru. Where's my invite? Who? Rimuru replied, you moved in before I even had the chance to give it to you. Milim froze. What? What do you mean moved in? Ramairis, are you living here in Tempest with Rimuru? Ramairis boasted, yep. I can say goodbye to the solo life. Milim grabbed Rimuru by his collar and began shaking him back and forth frantically. Milim yelled, no fair Rimuru. I want to live here in Tempest with you too. Ramairis smirked, well, I am working here after all, and Rimuru doesn't need a problem child like you. Milim snapped, what did you say about me, Ramairis? Milim began chasing Ramairis through the air, trying to swat her out of the sky like a fly. Suddenly, a strict voice echoed through the room. Shuna called out, that is enough. Sakura added sternly, if you two continue to fight, you can kiss your snacks goodbye. Both Milim and Ramairis froze, immediately dropping to the floor and kneeling politely. Rimuru quietly gave a thumbs up to Sakura and Shuna. Afterward, everyone enjoyed some delicious cake that Sakura and Shuna brought in, continuing their work on the dungeon while Milim departed to capture the elemental dragons. The dungeon structure was fully completed within 5 days, and it was time for a live test. Milim volunteered right away. Just then, Shiju and Shinsho arrived with extra snacks. After sharing the food, Milim and Shinsho headed into the dungeon to test out the floors. Milim called back, this floor is way too easy for me. Shinsho agreed, me too. Ramairis instructed over the communication link, try the next one. The two cheered in unison, okie dokie. Rimuru watched from the monitor room, those two sure are having fun. Shiju smiled softly, well, Fars, Stella, and Nemu are currently away in Falmouth, so Shinsho has been feeling a bit lonely without them. Rimuru nodded, I suppose so. Let's let her enjoy this moment. Shiju agreed, yeah. Chapter 78 Audience, Part 1. The beta test of the dungeon floors proved to be a resounding success, and Milim had to hurry back to her domain before Fry noticed her absence. The next matter Rimuru had to address was receiving the various monster representatives who had arrived to request an audience with him. Rimuru adjusted his clothes nervously. Do I really have to wear such a shiny outfit like this? Shin insisted, you are this nation's king. Of course you should. Shuna agreed, it reflects your power and regal nature quite nicely. Shishu patted his shoulder gently. Just bear with it, dear. You only have to do this for 3 days. Rimuru took a deep breath. Yeah, you're right. Let's get this over with. They proceeded outside to the main court. The nation's executives stood formally behind Rimuru, while both Shishu and Shinsho remained by his side. The first official representative to step forward was Abiru and the lizard men. Rimuru greeted him. It is good to see you, Abiru. You are doing well, I take it. Abiru bowed respectfully. Indeed. I have heard that, pardon me, I mean, you are as magnificent as always today, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru smiled. No need for such rigid formality. Besides, Gabble has been doing exceptionally well. Isn't that right, Gabble? Gabble flushed red with embarrassment, stammering, I am. Abiru looked at his son, feeling proud on the inside. You have come a long way, my foolish son. Rimuru gave Gabble permission to catch up with his father while he continued greeting the other monster clans. By the following day, a loud commotion broke out near the entrance of the audience hall. An unknown voice shouted, to think you horseheads would dare show your faces to see the demon lord. Another voice yelled back at you, cow brain. Shinsho covered her ears. Man, these cows and horses are so noisy. Rimuru sighed. I have to agree. The representative for the Bovoid stepped forward. Yo, demon lord sir. If you let us Bovoid serve you, we can put these equinoids in their place. The equinoid leader countered. No, my lord. Choose us equinoids. We would serve much better than these Bovoid idiots. The Bovoid leader roared, say what? Rimuru thought to himself, I don't have time for this unnecessary squabbling. Guess I'll just use a small trace of my demon lord aura to quiet them down. He released a brief wave of pressure. It instantly silenced the crowd, except for the 2 leaders who managed to remain standing. Just as Rigard stepped forward to intervene, a sudden force shattered the protective barrier Sakura and Shuna had set up. An immense aura filled the air, stunning the 2 beast leaders. Rimuru and several executives went out to inspect the breach, only to spot 3 young giants standing in the arena. Rimuru thought, giants? What are these guys doing here? Did Degrul send them? Only one way to find out. Rimuru called out, all right, who are you guys, and why have you come here? Did Degrul send you? The first giant smirked. Maybe, maybe not. You're going to have to fight us to find out. The second giant agreed, yeah. The third giant grinned, I can't wait to fight. Rimuru shrugged, so be it then. He snapped his fingers, Shun, if you would. Shun cracked her knuckles eagerly, gladly, Rimuru-sama. Within a matter of minutes, all 3 giants were thoroughly defeated by Shun. Nursing their bruises, they confessed that Degrul had sent them here to learn proper discipline and combat, as they had essentially been kicked out of home. Rimuru sighed, and here I thought Degrul was a gentle guy. Guess I was mistaken. Shun, you trained them, okay? Shun bowed, hi, Rimuru-sama. I shall train them into the finest warriors I can muster. With 3 new recruits assigned to Shun, the group returned to the hall to continue the audience ceremonies. Chapter 79 Audience, Part 2. When Rimuru and the executives returned from the arena, the Bovoid and Equinoid leaders immediately dropped to their knees and swore absolute loyalty. Shizu leaned down and whispered into Rimuru's ear that they had witnessed Shun easily overpower the 3 massive giants. Rimuru thought, that explains the sudden attitude change. The court proceedings continued smoothly until nightfall. The next morning, Diawolo, Hakuru, and the demonesses returned from their assignment in Falmouth, arriving just in time to greet the representatives of the Tengu clan. A young woman stepped forward. Greetings, Demon Lord Rimuru. I am Momiji, daughter of the Tengu elder. Rimuru greeted her politely. A pleasure to meet you, Momiji. He noticed her subtle body language and thought, she seems to be extremely on edge. I wonder why? Rimuru asked, "Is something the matter?" Momiji explained, "Well, you see." She detailed their territorial friction with Fry's forces, adding that things grew tense when they spotted Benimaru standing alongside Albus. She then dropped an unexpected bomb. Her mother, Keed, desired for Momiji and Benimaru to be wed. Furthermore, Momiji revealed she was the daughter of both Keed and Hakuru, catching several people completely by surprise. Rimuru thought, "I don't know if this is supposed to be good news or bad news." Momiji remembered, "Oh right. Here, Rimuru-sama, a letter from my mother addressed to you." Shuna unsealed the letter and began reading it aloud, only to realize mid-sentence that the message was actually intended for Hakuru. Momiji blushed heavily. "Why, mother? Why are you so careless?" Hakuru chuckled softly. "I see she hasn't changed a bit." Hakuru took the letter and read it himself. Father and daughter shared a warm, heartfelt moment together, right up until Hakuru declared that he would personally coach Momiji on how to win Benimaru's heart, turning the room into mild chaos. However, Benimaru's romantic dilemmas were far from over. Shuna turned to her brother. "I see. Brother, I have a message for you from Albus." Benimaru shuddered. "Why do I feel like I'm going to regret asking?" "Please, go ahead." Shuna recited cleanly, "Sir Benimaru, I have come to terms with Lady Momiji, and I plan to defeat her in battle to win the right to be your principal wife. However, becoming a second wife is always an option if worst comes to worst. I have no intention of backing down, so prepare yourself." Benimaru held his breath as his soul practically left his body in shock. Rimuru gasped, "Uh-oh, he's passed out standing up." Shinsho shook her head, "Poor guy." Sakura sighed, "Oh, my son." Meanwhile, Geld, Gabble, and Gobta looked on with pure jealousy. Azrael laughed, "Ha ha ha. Must be rough having so many women falling for you." Gobta grumbled, "You're one to talk. Aren't you and Testarossa a thing?" This unexpected statement caused every executive in the room to turn and stare directly at Azrael. Recomposing himself quickly, Azrael spoke up. Azrael cleared his throat. "It's far more complicated than simple romance, Gobta." Gobta tilted his head, "Huh." Curiosity filled the hall. Shinsho leaned forward with wide eyes. "How did you two meet?" Azrael panicked internally. "Crap, I can't say no to those curious eyes." He looked over at Testarossa, who gave him a subtle, silent nod of approval. Azrael submitted, "All right, I'll tell you. Where do I even begin?" Chapter 80 Audience, Part 3. The audience temporarily forgot about the unconscious Benimaru as their full attention shifted to Azrael. Azrael began, "I guess I should start with the Lakeshore Dyed Scarlet incident." Testarossa remarked softly, "As much as I would prefer to forget that affair, it is indeed where everything began." Azrael explained that while traveling through the kingdom of Silberg years ago, he sensed Testarossa's unique aura and went to investigate. Upon arriving, he discovered her interacting with the nation's young princess, Blanche. Though Azrael and Testarossa initially clashed, the battle ultimately forged a mutual respect between them. Gobta interrupted, amazed, "Wait a minute. Testarossa made a friend. A human friend?" Testarossa glared, "Yes. Now please be quiet and listen." Gobta clamped both hands over his mouth instantly. Azrael continued, explaining that the Eastern Empire grew terrified of Testarossa fully manifesting into the world. In response, they dispatched elite knights to assassinate Princess Blanche. Testarossa fought fiercely to protect Blanche, and seeing a primordial demon fight so desperately for a human, Azrael stepped in to assist her. Their combined combat presence was terrifying, but despite their efforts, they could not save Blanche. Testarossa was subsequently sealed away, and Azrael was forced to retreat. Azrael finished, "And that's how we first met." Rimuru shook his head, "Man, to think the Empire would pull something like that." Shishu agreed, "It must have been awful for both of you." Azrael looked down, "If only I had been stronger back then." Testarossa said gently, "Azrael, I do not blame you for what happened all those years ago. Azrael replied, I know that, but I wasn't aware you held romantic feelings for me at the time. Testarossa murmured, I could have confessed back then, but I knew your heart was already occupied by someone else. That caught Azrael completely off guard. What? How did you? Gopta gasped, what? You mean to tell me Azrael liked someone else before meeting you? Rimuru said, Gopta, quiet down. Though I must admit, I am a bit curious myself. Shishu asked, who was it? Testarossa answered plainly, it would be the angel he once served under, Obra. Carrere and Ultima whispered to each other, wow, things just got really interesting. Azrael blushed, adjusting his collar. At first I thought it was merely respect or deep admiration, but it turned out I cared for her a great deal. Rimuru thought, never thought I'd see the day Azrael gets embarrassed over a crush. Testarossa smiled, knowing that, I shall handle this the same way Lady Albus is doing. Rimuru chuckled, looks like you're going to have a rough time yourself, Azrael. Azrael sighed, I've survived worse. I can handle it. Testarossa added playfully, I hope so, because I don't plan on losing to my counterpart. Azrael replied, yeah, good luck with that. Shishu interjected gently, everyone, I think we should return to the audience proceedings. Looking back at the main hall, numerous monster representatives were staring at them in confusion. Rimuru straightened up, you're right, let's continue. Next representative. With that, they successfully finished greeting the remaining delegates, returning home to rest as night fell. Rimuru stretched, man, a lot of things happened today, huh? Shishu agreed, it sure did. Azrael's situation was quite intriguing. Shinsho asked innocently, will Azrael be able to meet this Obra person again? Rimuru smiled, sweetie, I'm sure they will meet again someday. He quietly added in his mind, I just hope they won't meet as enemies on a battlefield. Later that evening, Azrael stood by the window of the estate, gazing up at the moon illuminated in the night sky. Testarossa quietly appeared behind him. Testarossa asked, I suppose bringing up that incident made you more uncomfortable than me, hit home a bit. Azrael replied, it's complicated. Testarossa asked, can't stop thinking about her, can you? Azrael admitted, I spent a long time hoping she might come find me, but she never did. Testarossa reminded him, you know she was assigned to the Otherworld Gate. She had no way of knowing what transpired, and it was Cornu who framed you, not her. Azrael mused, never thought I'd hear you defend your natural counterpart like that. Besides, she is a high commander, and I was merely her subordinate. I doubt she ever viewed me in such a light. Testarossa steps closer, perhaps. But she would not have personally trained you to stand head-to-head against commanders like Pyko or Garasha if she didn't care. Azrael paused, I suppose. Testarossa gently rested her hand on his arm and leaned her head against his shoulder. Testarossa said softly, listen to me. When you finally get the chance to see her again, tell her your true feelings and leave the rest to fate. Azrael looked at her, but aren't you? Testarossa blushed slightly, I stand by what I said earlier, but if your heart truly belongs to her, I will step back. Even if I cannot be your first choice, I hope I can at least be your second. She leaned up and placed a gentle kiss on his cheek before stepping back. Testarossa added, just don't overthink it, okay? She vanished into the shadows, leaving Azrael standing alone by the window. Touching his cheek with a bright red face, he took a deep breath. Azrael thought, damn it, guess that was a bit much for me to handle. Still, it felt nice. Chapter 81 Lightspeed Hero. Following the audience events, the leadership team assembled in the meeting hall to address pending administrative matters. Rimuru introduced, good morning, everyone. Please allow me to introduce our new finance manager, Njolmile. Njolmile bowed deeply, it is an absolute honor to meet you all. Rimuru said, now then, are there any urgent reports? Sue stepped forward, Rimuru-sama, I have an update regarding Viscount Kazak. Shishu raised an eyebrow, Kazak. Rimuru asked, what about him? Sue reported, he has been officially arrested. Both Rimuru and Shishu exclaimed, "What?" Shinsho cheered, "Serves that terrible old man right for trying to bother Mama." Shishu asked, "How did it happen so quickly?" Sue explained, "He was brought to justice directly by the Lightspeed hero." Rimuru repeated, "The Lightspeed hero, huh?" Jolmile added, "Ah, so it was the hero Masayuki who caught him red-handed." Exactly what you'd expect from a renowned hero. Sue continued, "Furthermore, he and his party managed to track down and dismantle Orthrus, a prominent illegal slave syndicate operating out of the small kingdom of Balakia." Shishu frowned, "Disgusting." Rimuru inquired, "Were there any elves among those rescued?" The elf elder who attended our audience mentioned that several of their people had been captured. Sue confirmed, "There were. They are currently being escorted here by the hero." "However?" Rimuru asked, "However what?" Sue replied, "Rumors are spreading among the refugees that the hero is marching here specifically to slay you, Demon Lord Rimuru." Rimuru looked baffled. "Now why would he want to fight me? I've never even met the guy." Sue said firmly, "I do not know, Rimuru-sama. However, I will not tolerate anyone looking down on you. I can eliminate him before he reaches our borders." Shin added eagerly, "I would be more than happy to crush him for you, Rimuru-sama." Diolo smiled darkly, "This so-called hero will have to pass through me first if he wishes to challenge my master. I shall ensure his questioning is as painless as possible." Kufufu. Rimuru shouted, "None of you are going to touch him, got it? I will personally handle his arrival. Is that understood?" The executives bowed in unison, "Hi, Rimuru-sama." Rimuru sighed, "I would prefer to speak with him and resolve any misunderstanding peacefully. Azrael offered, I can shadow his party from the sky and report back everything I learn." Rimuru nodded, "All right, do just that." Azrael bowed, "I shall take my leave," and vanished from the room. Rimuru turned to the next agenda item, moving on. "How are the wedding preparations coming along?" Kaijin and Kurobe answered together, "Everything is proceeding on schedule, Rimuru-sama." Shishu smiled brightly, "Wonderful. I can't wait to wear the dress." Rimuru smiled back, "I can't wait to see you in it." Shinsho beamed, "Me too. Mama is going to look so pretty." Shishu warmly replied, "Thank you, sweetie." Shinsho suddenly paused, "By the way, Papa, did you forget to invite someone important?" Rimuru thought for a moment, "Did I? I sent formal invitations to our allied nations, and to demon lords like Dino, De Gruel, Leon, and Guy. Who else is?" Rimuru went pale, "Oh no. I forgot about Velzard." Shishu gasped, "Oh dear." Rimuru panicked, "I need to write an emergency letter right now." Chapter 82 Velzard's Tough Love. Realizing he had completely forgotten to send an invitation to Velzard, Rimuru quickly penned a letter and rushed out to find Veldora, who was lounging on a sofa reading manga alongside Ramiris. Rimuru yelled, "Veldora! We need to head to the ice continent immediately." Veldora winced, "What? Why?" Rimuru explained, "I forgot to send Velzard an invitation to the festival and the wedding. I'm going right now, and you're coming with me." Veldora protested, "Hell no. You know how terrifying my sister is." Rimuru countered, "Are you sure about that? What if she asks why you didn't deliver it in person? If I tell her you were too scared, she might decide to educate you when she arrives." Cold sweat poured down Veldora's face. He stood up instantly. Veldora panicked, "Why are we still standing around? To the ice continent." In a flash, the two teleported away, leaving Ramiris behind in the office. Ramiris shook her head, "Those two sure are cowards, am I right?" Beretta asked calmly, "Would you have gone with them if they had asked you, Ramiris-sama?" Ramiris sweated slightly, "Shut up, Beretta." Upon arriving at the ice continent, Rimuru and Veldora made their way to the White Ice Palace, where they were greeted and escorted inside by Rain and Misery. They waited inside a grand reception room while the two maids went to inform Velzad. Shortly after, Velzad entered with a sweet smile. Well, well, well. If it isn't my two little brothers coming to visit their big sister. Rimuru spoke up nervously. Well, I came to personally deliver an invitation to our nation's founding festival and my wedding with Shishu. I brought Veldora along with me. Velzad tilted her head, her terrifyingly cold aura flaring behind a pleasant smile. How very thoughtful of you to invite me, at last. Am I right? Rimuru thought, crap, she knows. Veldora closed his eyes, praying internally, please no punishment. Please no punishment. Both Rimuru and Veldora bowed. We are so sorry. Velzad maintained her smile. Well, since you both apologized so sincerely, I suppose I can let it slide with a tiny punishment. Before either of them could react, the ambient temperature in the room dropped to absolute zero. In an instant, both Rimuru and Veldora were completely encased in solid blocks of ice. Velzad remarked cheerfully, next time, do try to remember to invite me to major events first, okay? From within the thick ice, muffled sounds translated to, understood, sister. We are sorry, sister. They remained frozen until evening, at which point Velzad finally thawed the ice. Without missing a beat, Rimuru and Veldora instantly teleported back to Tempest. Velzad smiled satisfied. I'd say those two finally learned their lesson. Guy, I'll be visiting Rimuru's nation for about a week. Mind if I bring Rain along? Guy sighed. Do as you wish. It is your brother's wedding after all. Go enjoy yourself. Velzad clapped her hands. Wonderful. Rain, pack our luggage. We leave as soon as possible. Rain bowed. Hi, Velzad-sama. Back in Tempest, Veldora gasped for air. I blame you for all of this. Rimuru shivered. Well, now we know what happens when Velzad gets upset. Exhausted, both of them headed straight to their respective rooms to sleep. Chapter 83 Children and Hero. After recovering from his terrifying encounter with Velzad, Rimuru resumed finalizing preparations for the founding festival. With the main event structured, he had one last personal project he wanted to discuss. He went to his office to find Shishu. Rimuru said softly, Shishu, do you have a moment to talk? Shishu smiled. Of course, dear. What's on your mind? Rimuru explained, as you know, the festival preparations are almost complete. But there's one more thing I would really like to do, if you agree. Shishu asked, and what is that? Rimuru proposed, I was thinking of bringing your students from the Freedom Academy to live and study here in Tempest. Shishu looked surprised. Really? Rimuru nodded. I think it's for the best. Shishu paused. This is about Yuki, isn't it? Rimuru admitted, yes. Shishu sighed softly. I still find it hard to believe Yuki could be. Rimuru reassured her, I'll make sure he doesn't cause trouble, and I will do my best to resolve things peacefully if possible. Shishu took his hand, her gaze resolute. Thank you, but you don't need to hold back on my account. If Yuki truly poses a threat to everyone, he must be stopped, no matter the cost. Rimuru communicated internally, Raphael, I'll need your assistance more than ever. Raphael responded, UI Master. Any can comes count ensure events. Harm me, no Avon planned that will. Rimuru smiled, thanks, partner. I'm lucky to have you. Following their conversation, Rimuru teleported directly to the Free Union headquarters to meet with Yuki. He proposed bringing Class S to Tempest for the upcoming festival, an offer Yuki readily accepted. When Rimuru arrived at the academy classroom and opened the door, Chloe immediately rushed forward and threw her arms around him. Chloe cheered, Rimuru-sensei. You finally came to visit. I missed you so much. Alice pouted, no fair, Chloe. I wanted to hug him first. Kenya complained, blame Rimuru-sensei for not visiting as often as he promised. Ryota added, Kenya does have a point. Gale nodded, true. Rimuru laughed nervously, sorry kids. I had to deal with some intense situations recently. But enough about that, I have a massive surprise for all of you. The children leaned in, really. Rimuru explained the founding festival to them, and the children immediately ran to pack their bags. T-sensei was also invited to help supervise the students during their stay. Once packed, Rimuru teleported the entire group to the Tempest Inn, where they settled in comfortably. Suddenly, Sue materialized nearby. Rimuru-sama, the Lightspeed hero, has just arrived at the main gate. Rimuru nodded. Right. Let's go see what this hero is like. Rimuru, Shizu, and a small escort went to the front entrance to meet the party. However, the hero's companions did not offer a polite greeting. A large man sneered, "Well, look at that. The Demon Lord himself came out to greet us." An assassin added, "It is the hero Masayuki after all. Even a Demon Lord knows to show proper respect." A wizard asked, "So Masayuki, shall we handle this now?" Masayuki panicked internally, waving his hands frantically. "Jinrai, Bernie, Jiwa, let's not make things worse." Rimuru thought, "Poor guy, he's totally dragged along by his party." Rimuru spoke up calmly, "Since you saved the captured elves and returned them safely, I will overlook your companion's rudeness this time. Why don't you all come enjoy the festival as my guests, as a token of my appreciation?" Before the party members could utter another arrogant remark, Masayuki quickly stepped in front of them. Masayuki bowed nervously. "Thank you very much for the generous offer. We will definitely enjoy the festival. Come on guys, let's go." He quickly pushed his companions through the gates into town. Shizu wiped a bead of sweat from her forehead. That was a close call. Shun was about to lose her temper. Rimuru smiled. "Well, it's almost time for the evening welcome feast. Let's head inside." Everyone responded together, "Hi." Chapter 84 Banquet Part 1. Everyone was happily enjoying all the food served in the banquet hall, especially Shinsho, who kept adding more and more to her plate while stuffing her mouth with some of the dishes. Rimuru, yummy. Sakura, Shuna, and Yoshida are truly the best cooks ever. Shizu, I agree, and so does Shinsho. Just look at how much she is stuffing into her mouth while still adding more to her plate. Veldora, can't blame her, because these dishes are delicious. Shizu, can't argue with that. And some of the nobles here agree too. Shizu looked around the hall. While they were eating, Rimuru spotted a young prince approaching Shinsho. He signaled the other two, and they all focused on Shinsho. Prince 1, my, it is a pleasure to meet you, Princess Shinsho. I am Prince Lucas, and I must say you look very beautiful today. Shinsho, thanks. Shinsho thought to herself, I just want to eat, don't disturb me. Prince 1, if you like, why don't we find some time to chat, just the two of us? The three who were watching them felt irritated. Rimuru, making a move on my daughter? Bad move. Shizu, I'll have to teach him some manners. Veldora, if he makes my niece cry, I'll do more than just destroy him. The three whispered, but Shinsho wasn't bothered. She just turned her head and continued placing food on her plate. Just when the prince was about to speak again, another prince showed up and introduced himself to Shinsho, followed by another, and another. Prince Lucas, hey, don't get in my way. Prince 2, back off, Blondie. You're not worth her time. Prince 3, speak for yourself, Fatty. Prince 2, what did you say? Prince 4, out of my way. If anyone should talk to her, it's me. Prince 5, dream on, Baldy. I'm next. When the princes turned their heads, they realized that Shinsho was no longer there. She was sitting next to her parents, eating her dish. This scene made the princes feel embarrassed, and they all silently went back to their seats. Rimuru thought, nice one, little girl. Papa is so proud of you. Just then, the door opened, and two orcs brought in a giant fish monster. Rimuru, oh, time for sushi. The two orcs tossed it into the air, and Hakuru sliced it into sushi-sized bits. But no one went to eat it at first, so everyone at Rimuru's table decided to go first. Hakuru, an order for 4, right, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, that would be nice. Please do. Hakuru served them some sushi, and their reaction slowly made some of the nobles curious. Hinata joined in, followed by Yuki. Then Gazelle and Yume also joined in, and their reactions convinced some of the other nobles to try it. Just when things were going smoothly, a guard came rushing in. Guard, Rimuru-sama. She is here. Emperor Elmisia Lru Serian has just arrived, and her dragon will be landing soon. Rimuru stood up and said, understood. Gazelle warned, a word of warning. Don't let your guard down. Rimuru, I'll keep that in mind. Shizu also stood up and went with Rimuru to greet Elmisia, while Veldora watched Shinsho eating her food. Elmisia, it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. Chapter 85 Banquet Part 2. Elmisia, it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. Rimuru, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you too. Rimuru thought, strange? Why do I feel a bit weird? Raphael. Raphael, notice, interference detected. Blocking now. Rimuru thought, much better. But still, what was that? Raphael, answer, it was not a malicious attack, but rather the effect of her hero Haki. Rimuru thought, so she was testing me, huh? I'll remember that. Rimuru, in any case, please take a seat wherever you like. Elmisia, I shall indeed. Let's go, boys. Her guards went with her to sit at a table, while Rimuru and Shizu returned to their table. Rimuru, man, she was tricky back there. Gazelle, I told you so. You better be prepared, or else that old hag. Before he could finish, he sensed her glare at him, so he quickly drank a glass of wine to shut himself up. Rimuru, scary. But still nowhere near Velzad's level. As that was happening, Rigard came into the hall and called out. Rigard, announcing the arrival of Demon Lord Milim and her subordinate. Rimuru, Shizu, and Shinsho went to greet them. As they walked through the hall, Shinsho suddenly felt something and turned her gaze to a girl with blonde hair for a brief second before continuing her way to Milim. Shinsho thought, what was that? It feels like I am seeing two people in one body. Milim, hey, Shinsho. It's finally festival time. I can't wait to eat. Shinsho, trust me, you're going to love it. Milim, I know. I can't wait. Oh, and I brought Midray with me today. Rimuru, I see. The one who dislikes the idea of cooking. Shizu, don't worry, leave it to Sakura and Shuna. I'm sure they can change his mind. Milim, I hope so, because I'm getting tired of eating nothing but raw vegetables. Rimuru, by the way, you didn't get into any trouble with Fry, did you? Milim, why, no, of course not. I was being a very responsible leader. But when they all turned to Fry, they saw a smile on her face that didn't look like a good thing. Then she walked forward. Fry, thank you for inviting us to your founding festival, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, I hope you all enjoy the meals. If the poultry here is not to your liking, we could. That's when he realized he made a big mistake. Fry gave a cold smile and asked, excuse me, did you say poultry? Rimuru panicked internally, oh no. I messed up. Carrion tried to hide his laughter and said, oh man, calling Fry poultry, that was priceless. Milim, wow, you're even braver than I am, Rimuru. Fry smiled coldly again and asked, and what does that mean, you two? Both Carrion and Milim immediately backed off. Rimuru panicked, what do I do? What do I do? Raphael. Raphael, answer, just apologize and pray that she forgives you. Chapter 86 Banquet Part 3. He mustered up his courage and apologized to Fry, and as luck would have it, he was spared from punishment. Rimuru whispered, "That was close." Carrion, "Well, now that that's settled, we can finally." Before he could finish, Fry grabbed him by the head. "Fry, not so fast, Carrion. You haven't told me what was so funny. Let's talk in private, shall we?" Carrion, "Wait a second, Fry." Too late. He was dragged off somewhere and returned with a bunch of claw marks on his face. Rimuru thought, "I'm so glad it wasn't me." As they all sat together, Sakura and Shuna delivered the dishes to them. Both Shinsho and Milim had sparkling eyes. Milim, "Right, you should know Midray is stubborn, so it won't be easy." Shuna, "I'll give it my best." Midray, "I must say, Demon Lord Rimuru, I am absolutely disgusted." He started insulting the cooked food before he even tried a bite, and the noise he made was disturbing the other guests. Just when Milim thought about switching to a different location, Shuna slammed her hand onto the table and put on a cold smile that was even scarier than Fry's. Rimuru thought, "Oh boy. Midray has done it now." Shuna, "Listen here, Father Midray. Try it before you insult it. Understand?" Midray felt scared and replied, Fine. I'll take 1 spoon." Midray picked up a spoonful of soup and tasted it. His reaction clearly said he liked it. Rimuru thought, no one can resist Shuna's cooking. Midray's thoughts about cooking completely changed, and they all continued to enjoy their meals. However, Shinsho was still keeping her focus on the blonde girl. Shinsho thought, "It looks like one of them is evil while the other is still just a child. What should I do? What can I do?" Azrael, who was standing behind everyone, noticed her gaze and looked in that direction, landing on the blonde little girl. Azrael thought, "That girl? She's from the Rosso family. Why is Princess Shinsho so focused on her?" Curious, he decided to look deeper. Azrael thought, "What? There are 2 souls in that girl's body, and it looks like one of them is pure evil. I get it. Princess Shinsho sure has a kind heart, she must want to save her." Azrael leaned closer to Shinsho's head and whispered, "If you're interested in her, then go say hi." Shinsho, "Really?" Azrael nodded, and Shinsho walked towards the blonde girl. Shinsho, "Hi. I'm Shinsho. Who might you be?" Girl, Mariabelle. Shinsho, "Nice to meet you, Mariabelle. You seem a bit gloomy. Wanna come and hang out with me tomorrow?" Mariabelle, "I'm not really, actually, never mind. I'll join." Shinsho, "Great. See you tomorrow." Mariabelle, "Likewise." Shinsho returned to her table, leaving Mariabelle at the sushi counter. Mariabelle thought, "Getting closer to the Demon Lord's daughter may prove beneficial in my plan to get rid of him." He. Shinsho thought, "I may not know much about you, Mariabelle. But I do know this, the good side of you is being suppressed by the evil one, and I plan to help set it free. Who knows? Maybe you'll be a brand new, nice girl." Chapter 87 Banquet End. As things were settling down, a guard approached Rigard and whispered something into his ear. He stood straight and called out. Rigard, announcing the arrival of the Ice Empress Dragon Velzad and her maid, Rain. This made almost everyone turn to the door, turning pale from what Rigard just said. Rimuru thought, "Oh boy, here she comes. Better go greet her." Rimuru signaled Veldora, and they stood up and walked to the door with Shizu and Shinsho. Velzad came in wearing a very elegant dress, and Rain was wearing her maid outfit. Rimuru bowed politely and said, "Welcome, sister, to my nation's founding festival banquet." Velzad, "Thank you for the invite." Shizu, "It's good to see you, sister-in-law." Shinsho, "Hi, auntie." Velzad, "It's good to see you too, Shizu, and you as well, Shinsho." Velzad cuddled Shinsho, then turned to face Veldora. Velzad, "And what about you, Veldora?" Veldora said in a panic, "It is lovely to see you, dear big sister. I hope you enjoy the activities." Velzard, "That's more like it." Rimuru, "Anyway, please sit with us." Velzard was led to their table, and she started tasting the food. Velzard, "Wow, these dishes are truly divine." Shuna, "I'm so glad you like them, Velzard-sama." Velzard, "Petty guy didn't decide to come. He is missing out on all this delicious food." Shuna, "I wouldn't mind teaching some cooking techniques to your maid." Velzard, "That would be wonderful." Rain, "Be sure to learn properly." Rain, "Yes, Velzard-sama." With that, Rain followed Shuna to the kitchen, leaving Velzard at Rimuru's table while some of the nobles tried not to stare too much. Velzard, "So, my dear little brother, any trouble lately?" Rimuru, "No, not at the moment, but I am keeping my guard up." Azrael, "Yeah. The only trouble was a bunch of princes trying to hit on Shinsho." Rimuru and Veldora shouted, "Azrael!" Too late. Velzard put on an extremely cold, scary smile and said, "Oh, some lowly human princes tried to hit on my sweet, innocent little niece, eh?" Rimuru panicked, "Wait, wait, wait. It has already been taken care of, right, my little angel?" Rimuru signaled Shinsho. Shinsho, "Yep. I just ignored them, no problem at all." Velzard, "I see. That's good, but just remember you can always come to me for help if your mama or papa are too busy." Shinsho, "Okay, but what about Uncle Veldora?" Velzard, "Ignore him. He's not good with these kinds of things." Veldora felt insulted, "Hey. Milim, it is true, though." Veldora felt the insult added to injury, looking like he was about to leave the world right then and there. With that, everyone enjoyed their meals and got ready for tomorrow. Side story: small meeting. Rimuru, his family, and all of Tempest's executives gathered at a meeting to discuss a few things before tomorrow's grand opening. Rimuru, "So, everyone, did any of you notice anything strange?" Mermile, "Well, I have noticed there are some merchants who are unfamiliar to me." Rimuru, "Will that be a problem?" Mermile, "Not sure, but I'll keep looking into it." Rimuru, "Right. Anything else?" So merchants aside, I have noticed two presences who might be the enemy, but I have yet to identify them. Rimuru, "That's good enough. Keep an eye on them." So yes, sir. Rimuru, "So that's all, right?" Everyone looked at each other and nodded. Just when Rimuru was about to end the meeting, Azrael noticed Shinsho wanted to say something, so he spoke up. Azrael, "Actually, I believe our princess here has something she would like to say." Hearing that, they all turned to face Shinsho. She looked up at Azrael for a few seconds, then turned to face everyone and spoke up. Shinsho, "I think I know who one of them is." Shizu, "Really? Who?" Shinsho, "A girl around my age named Maria Bell." Rimuru, "Maria Bell, hey." Shinsho, "But I don't think she is a bad person." Rimuru, "What do you mean by that?" Shinsho, "Well, I don't really know, but I feel like I can sense there is someone else inside of her." Shizu, "Someone else inside of her?" Rimuru, "Could she be a reincarnation like me?" Diawolo, "So this Maria Bell has a good side and a bad side fighting over the same body. How tragic." Azrael, "And the dark side is winning." Shizu, "Is there anything we can do, Rimuru?" Rimuru thought, Shinsho, "Wait. Please let me handle this." Rimuru, "But Shinsho, this could be dangerous." "I think you should." Shinsho, "Please, Papa, let me do this. I want to save her." She was very determined to help Maria Bell's good side. Rimuru thought, Raphael, "Answer, you should let her do it, Master. She is capable of handling this." Rimuru stared longer at Shinsho, seeing her eyes filled with determination, and sighed. Rimuru, "All right, I'll let you handle this. Shizu, but Rimuru. Rimuru, if things go wrong, you can always come to us for help. We are all here for you. Everyone nodded. Shinsho, thank you, Papa. I won't let you down. Rimuru thought, she is growing up so fast. Raphael, indeed, Master. You should be proud. Shizu, I hope you know what you're doing, dear. Rimuru, trust me, our daughter is strong enough to handle this, and she is not a little girl anymore. So all we can do is support her. Shizu, can't argue with that. With that, the small meeting concluded. Chapter 88 Festival begins. Rimuru appeared in his slime form and stood in front of the mansion's balcony. Behind him were all his family, friends, and subordinates. Rimuru, ladies and gentlemen. I am Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. I am glad you all accepted the invitation to my nation. I'm sure some of you are wary of me being a demon lord, but I have no intention of being hostile to humans. Some of the people sighed in relief until Rimuru, but a word of warning, if you try to push us around or declare war on us just because we're monsters, then we will show no mercy. Some of the people tensed up. Rimuru then transformed into his human form. Rimuru, it may not be pretty, but I truly wish to build a place where humans and monsters can live in peace with each other. So I hope all of you will help me make this dream of mine a reality. And without further ado, let the festival begin. All the people cheered as Rimuru walked into the mansion. As he walked down the stairs with Shizu, Shinsho, Azrael, and Benimaru, they saw the 5 students waiting for them. Kenya, Sensei, I can't believe you're a king. Alice, yeah, why didn't you tell us? Ryota, you were awesome out there, Sensei. Rimuru, I'm happy to hear that, but... Shizu, is there a reason why you kids are here? Where's Tis? Gale, well, you see, about that. Chloe, when Tis Sensei saw you, she immediately collapsed. Rimuru, oh boy, that's not good. Azrael, blame yourself for being so popular with the ladies. Rimuru, shut up, that's not true. Shizu blushed a bit and said, well. Rimuru, oh, come on. Not you too, Shizu. Shinsho, but it is true, right, Papa? Rimuru thought, can't really say no to that. Kenya, in any case, there's no one who can look out for us. Rimuru, let me think. Just then, Hinata came in. Hinata, got a problem there, Rimuru. Shizu, oh, it's you, Hinata. Alice, wait. Sensei, did you say Hinata, as in Hinata Sakaguchi? Rimuru, yep, the very one who gave me a run for my money. Kenya, he. No way this old. Before he could finish, a sword was near his neck. Hinata, you were saying. Kenya nervously replied, pretty lady. Shizu, Kenya, be nice. She is your senior, after all. Kenya, right, I'll keep that in mind. Shizu, perhaps it was perfect timing that you're here, Hinata. Shizu asked Hinata to look after the children while she and Rimuru attended to other matters, to which Hinata agreed immediately. Shinsho, all right, Papa, Mama, I'm off to play with my friends. Rimuru, okay, just remember to be back by sunset. Shinsho, okay. Shizu, it's time we get going, too. Rimuru, let's. Chapter 89 Orchestra and Lab Research. The first place on Rimuru's and Shizu's to-do list was the concert hall. The music played by the monsters alongside their conductor, Baton, filled the hall with harmonic and peaceful music. Rimuru, he surely came a long way, huh? Shizu, I remember him being bad at whatever he tried, but he has a talent for music. Rimuru, we should have him play a nice wedding tune for our wedding after the tournament. Shizu, sure, I would love that. When Baton was done, Rimuru and Shizu were about to stand up and applaud, but then the lights went out, then turned back on again. On the center of the stage, both Shuna and Shin could be seen wearing elegant dresses and holding instruments. Rimuru, wow! This is unexpected. I mean, Shuna I can understand, but Shin. Shizu, let's see what happens. Both Shuna and Shin started playing. The moment they did, the harmonic sounds that came out of their instruments made everyone there feel so relaxed and at peace. Once they were done playing, the first person to applaud was Luminous in her maid outfit, followed by everyone else. Rimuru, have to admit, they were amazing out there. Shizu, they sure were, but it's about time we head to the next venue. Rimuru, you're right, let's go. The two of them left the concert hall and headed for the research lab, where Vesta and Gabiru were presenting their research. Vesta, on this side, we have the first healing potion created by Rimuru-sama, and in my hand is a perfected full potion. However, no one seemed to be interested. That's when Vesta signaled Gabiru to bring over their main product. Gabiru, everyone, here we have a broken sword of Magisteel. Now I ask, do you all think the potion can fix this blade? Noble One, what nonsense is that? Of course it won't work. Vesta, then let us see about that. He poured the potion on the broken blade, and it was fixed. This left everyone in shock, and the noble was dumbfounded. Noble One, how is this possible? Vesta, in that case, let me ask you this. He held out one plant in his hand and a different one in his other. Can you tell me if you think these plants are the same? Noble 2, of course not. One's a hypercute herb, and the other is just a weed, right? Gabiru, indeed. Or that's what we thought. Noble 3, what do you mean? Vesta, you see, when we compared the two plants, we learned that they have the same structure when we remove the magicules from the herb. Gabiru, which means one thing, the plant known as the hypercute herb does not naturally exist, but is the result of a weed being mutated by magicules. Vesta, and with that, we present to you all the true nature of the hypercute herb. There was silence for a moment, but then Jeff shouted, This is a major discovery. Noble 4, Sir Vesta and Sir Lizard. This is not the proper place to reveal such a find. Gabiru reacted, say what? Lizard. Rimuru whispered, oops, we might have caused some chaos. Shizu, guess we did. Rimuru, moving on. Shizu, let's go. With that, they left the lab. Chapter 90 Shinsha's Little Plan. While Rimuru and Shizu attended to their business, Shinsha and the Trinity were having a fun time together. Fars, all these food stalls are so delicious. Stella, I can't wait to learn how to make them for Milim-sama. Nemu, yummy. Shinsha, glad everyone likes it. As they were walking, Shinsha spotted Mariabelle and went to say hi. Shinsha, hi, Mariabelle. You all alone? Mariabelle, yes, and I'm doing just fine. Shinsha, this won't do. Come and join us. She grabbed Mariabelle's hand, dragged her into their group, and explored the festival. They all went to play some of the game stalls. Mariabelle wasn't interested, but Shinsha's persistence made it hard for her to say no. They all played and had a lot of fun, then enjoyed some delicious sweet treats. When Shinsha took a small peek at Mariabelle, who was right behind her, she saw her smile a bit, not because it was an act, but because she genuinely liked the sweets. Shinsha, you're smiling, hee. Mariabelle, what do you mean? I can smile too, you know. Shinsha, sure. Shinsha thought, I think I'm getting through to the good side, but the bad side is still too strong. There must be a way for me to dig deeper. As Shinsha was thinking, their group walked past the arena and saw that they were still gathering fighters for the preliminaries. That's when an idea came to her head. Shinsha, hey guys, wanna join the martial arts tournament? Stella, sure, I'm up for a fight. Fars, me too. Nemu, I'll pass. Shinsha, typical. Then you watch over Mariabelle from the side, okay? Nemu, you sure, let's go in, Maria. Mariabelle, sure. Mariabelle thought, I don't usually like these kinds of things, but I would get to see how powerful the princess is. The 5 of them split, with 3 heading to the arena and 2 sitting on the side. But before that, Shinsho, Fars, Stella, Nemu, I have something I want you guys to help me with. Fars, what is it, Shinsho? Shinsho told them about Mariabelle being one of their enemies and that she had an evil side suppressing her good side. She planned to create a scene to see if the good side could still be saved. Shinsho, you guys know what to do. Fars, but are you sure you want to do that? You'll get hurt. Shinsho, I'll be fine, trust me. Stella, all right, I'll do it. Nemu will also help. Fars, fine, I'll help too. Shinsho, thanks. You guys are the best. Fars, we are a team. Stella, we have each other's backs. Nemu, no matter what. Shinsho, that's right. We are. The 4 together cheered, Team SSPN.